know how we do.
You're listening to Free Zone Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars, the real hip hop.
We try to tell people that Philly is a special breed.
They hate to see us on top, they hate to see us on, they hate to see us come up, they hate we on, they hate the moves that we make because it's made to break them. We give them knowledge on tracks and hope our words can save them. I guess it's hard to give props when you know you lesser, so we right on your heels, I hope you feel the pressure. Rappers taking a roll, my shoes will never fit them. Before you come at a king, I let my soldiers get them. I'm from Philly with hot quarters, they turn chilly. Tight shirts with tight jeans, they never feel me. Young boys confused.
We're now joined by Steve the Legacy. Steve, welcome to the program. How you doing, man?
Oh, thank you for this opportunity. I'm doing good.
Yeah, we're definitely glad to have you on the program. So you are a limiting belief specialist. What does that mean, and how do you help your clients?
Well, a limited belief specialist is someone that just helps you activate what you already have inside you. A lot of times we got a lot of mental blocking, right? Stuff that was probably, I guess, handicapped you as a kid, then you became a teenager, then an adult, and now it's like a bondage of putting you in the perspective of you not really living the life that you want to. So my whole goal is to extract what's already inside you by uncovering what's the things that's blocking you. And once we do that, then we can help you act and grow your belief.
Talk to us about your Act and Grow belief course.
Yeah, so the thing about it, a lot of times, most people, I grew up on Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, which was, a good read. I recommend it to a lot of different people. But here's the thing. A lot of times, most people thought process are not in the mindset of really uncovering the riches from the thoughts because their thoughts are poor, right? So the whole thing is sometimes you got to put forth the action first, and then your belief starts to follow and grow. Once you get the mind moving from the body, from the thoughts to the body, then you start to see that things are coming about. That's when the beliefs start to really birth from there, and then that's when things start to get magical from there.
So it's interesting because you sort of reversed it. Some folks think, they say think and grow rich, but you're actually saying act and then think.
Yes, because you can think yourself out of doing it, right? Plenty of times you're in a position where a thought will come to your head. It could be a great idea, then you cancel it right out from your thoughts. So the same thought that you thought of the idea, now you're putting doubt in it. But if you put forth the action, what I love about the body is that when you have a new action of movement, then you change the state. Once you change the state, you change the position. And once you change the position, you change the belief. And once you change the belief, you change your direction. You got to go.
I love it. I love it. You've also pinned some material. There's a toolkit that you have. 5 steps to think more positive. Give us 3 of the 5.
First step, you got to like yourself. See, most people, they want people to like them, but they don't even like themselves. Like this, you gotta like yourself first. Second step is that you got to respect what you do. See, T.D. Jakes said it once before. He said, you will never have the taste of finishing if you do not complete what you do, right? But on the other side of it, you will never respect yourself either. You will always disrespect yourself. But until you finish, until you have that taste, that's when you begin to respect yourself. The third thing is get organized. Most people, they cannot be positive in that thought process because they have a disorganized mindset. Disorganized mindset clutters everything, not only the bank account, but your sense of direction. Direction creates energy. Now, the lack of direction depletes your energy. The lack of energy gets nothing done.
So you've given us 3 out of the 5. You might as well go ahead and give us the remaining 2.
And that's where belief comes in, right? You got to believe in the positivity of your thoughts. They always say thoughts becomes the actions, right? Oh, it's true. It all starts right with the inner, we call it inner self-talk. How's your inner self-talk? When you master that, no matter what's going on in the world, once you master yourself, then from there, the sky's the limit. Fourth thing, I call it completion. A lot of times you do not start until it's finished. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, he always talked about what's the perfect time to start? Well, when the idea is hot and emotion is strong, but also when it's finished. So a lot of times you see things 3 times. A lot of times, most people see one thing of being completed, but it actually means 3 times to complete something. First thing, your thought. Second thing, you jot it down. Third thing is the completion of you finishing the product. So completion is a big thing. And the only way you're able to go forth and have a faith behind completion is you got to mark the date. Without the date, it's nothing more than a wish.
You mentioned mastering yourself, and that's obviously a challenge. 2023, we're getting over COVID. There's a possible recession looming. People are losing jobs. People are losing family members. You got to admit, it can be hard to master yourself with all these external things going on in the world.
Well, life is a challenge in itself, right? God already said it. In this world, it's not going to be easy. But you got to look at it as lessons, right? We sometimes look at circumstances of something that's really doing something to us, but it's actually doing something for us. It's making us stronger. A lot of times they always said that opportunities are found in difficulties. But here's the flip side behind it. Most people don't find opportunities in difficult situations because the mindset is not set to see the opportunities in difficult situations. So when we had these challenges, like what you were saying, a lot of times in life, it kind of brings out the best of you. And a kind of, in a difficult situation, because I have lost some loved ones too as well. And the COVID really affected a lot. A lot of jobs were lost, but a lot of jobs were created. A lot of beliefs were reborn. A lot of businesses were restarted or even started from scratch. So you have, both sides of the playing field. It's just that how you really weigh life, right? Is it half full or half empty?
You are a successful book author, a successful innovator, as well as a motivational speaker, and you're originally from the Philly area.
Yes, indeed. Yes. But it didn't always start from there. I tell you, the first thing I had to do was master myself. I had to find out exactly who was I. See, we went to school. I went to Morris Elementary, Roxborough High, and I graduated from Cheney University in 2007. And we took on these subjects, right? We got the grades. But we still didn't have a lesson or a class about how to master Steve. I think we find out that answer in a hard knock life. So when you go through the trials and tribulations, you start to redevelop things. And a lot of times what it is that you don't make that big change until you go through what I call the wilderness. You want to get to the mountaintop, you got to go through the wilderness in life.
And everyone has their own wilderness to go through. So as someone who is going through their own specific wilderness, what would be that one sound word of advice that you would give that individual?
The one thing I will give is just that find the truth at any cost. Find the truth at any cost. And that's the truth about a whole lot of things. Truth about what you're thinking, truth about your life, truth about what you want. The truth about your desire. That word truth, attach it to the branches of what you want in life. And when I say branches, because truth has many loops, bounds, and many directions. But once you get that truth, it will set you free. You heard that before, right? Apply that to your life.
Talk to us about a challenge that you had to overcome where you had to use some of your own techniques.
I was very hard on myself. My mind was so exposed to the world in the midst of someone can alter it, my belief because of what they said and change the whole direction of what I did because it was not trained, it was not guarded, it was not protected. So it was a delay in my life of wanting to achieve success or do things that mind blowing that I'm actually doing now. I could not fathom, I say 20 years ago, the way I am now. It's because the fact is I did not have the protection of knowing who I was. I was trying to be what I thought people wanted me to be instead of me showing up to be who I wanted to be. So once I really broke it down, and this is a personal thing that you have to do in life because you can't, everybody can't go. So you have to really isolate yourself, become one-on-one with God and yourself, find out exactly, things that you need to work on, the things that you love, and the things that you want to achieve. Apply that all together, take it step by step, one step at a time, and watch things change. And that's what I had to do with me. And it's not an overnight process. It takes time.
You invented the Cubics game, which is now being carried in different Barnes and Noble's bookstores. Congratulations on that. What made you want to invent the game? And tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that because back in February of this year, my mom sent me a picture of she was teaching my daughter Layla how to play jacks. And they haven't modernized the game of jacks in over 400 years. It's been the same, right? They started off with knuckle bones, right? And then they worked their way up to those little things that you step on and hurt your foot on, right? But has there been a really advancement from that? So me, my thing is, and this is my saying, I always say, I don't see things for what it is. I always see things for what it can be. So in that midst of things, I was like, well, how could I fix it? How could I make it different? First of all, what is the problem? I think the biggest problem right now that most kids are so prone to using tablets and phones that they never develop their hand and eye coordination. They have the lack of focus. The only thing they have is the swipe game or them using their actual thumbs. But what I love about jacks, it teaches you focus. It teaches you direction. It teaches you that hand and eye coordination. But how can we put a STEM program behind it? So I got it color coded, turn them into cubes, right? Each cube represents different points. So now we're going to have point scale systems added in your head. When the last time people add actually mathematics in their head now, right? Memory, the art of the science. How high do I have to bounce the ball up for me to get the cubes, get 2, get 3? The communication between the hand and eye, getting that locked up. In my focus group, I noticed when I tested it with the kids in the school, they was using both hands. I told them to just use one hand. For some reason, that left hand wanted to come into play. So I noticed that this is some training that needs to be. So I wanted to come up with something not only that's fun, but educational. And that's why I created Cubics.
Amazing, 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 amazing. You are an inventor, a writer, a motivational speaker, also a magazine publisher. I see you rocking that T-shirt there.
Yes.
Tell us about the magazine.
Yeah, so Black Innovation was born June 12th of last year. Reason why is because, once again, I told you, I don't see things for what it is. I see things for what it can be. I had some great things I've been doing. I wanted to share my story, but you know, the thing that I learned from my mentor, Jim Rohn, he said that if you want to be great, you have to serve the many. So service to many leads you to greatness. So yeah, I wanted to share my story, but there's other people like me. They probably want to share their story as well. And it's not getting the publicity that they want or need. What could I do? You know, I said, well, let me start a magazine. First thing I thought, well, how can I do it? Well, that's a great thing. The question, how? That's when my mind started getting moved. I didn't say I couldn't. I just said, how could I? And it's funny, they always say success leaves clues, but I never understood it until I recently did the magazine. And the success and the clues were, I already had a table full of magazines from other places and other. So all you had to do is find a format. How you going to do it? What's the theme? What's the purpose? And you piece it together one step at a time. And then after you finish those 1 steps, you completed it. And then you have a magazine. And I'm blessed to say that we got the 5th issue coming out this summer. In July. So it's been a journey. I'm excited.
Well, congratulations. So much success to you. All of these different products we can also find on your website.
Yes, indeed.
There is so much more good to come for you in your life. Thank you once again for joining us on the program, and we'll talk to you soon.
That real hip hop.
Y'all know how we do.
You're listening to Free Zone Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars. That real hip hop.